Hi, I'm Lisa Helper and I'm Director of Recovery Services, and one of my great privileges at Vinfen is being able to work with the recovery coordinators, and one of our most outstanding recovery coordinators is Megan Knowlton. So I'm just have the privilege of being able to ask her a couple of questions. So in your own words, Megan, can you describe how you came to Vinfen?
I had received services since 2007, and even prior to that, I had received services from different supports since I was 14. And I knew that I had always wanted to do that work, but I didn't know if I was capable of it. Having lived experience, I felt I had a lot to offer.
Can you tell me a little bit about your lived experience and your recovery story?
I had a pretty decent childhood. I was a happy kid, I had friends. And then I think probably around 8 or 9, I started experiencing like some social difficulties. By the time I was in high school, I was having a really hard time with depression, suicidal thoughts, self-injurious behavior, overdoses. I had my first hospitalization at that time, and actually when I left that hospital after several months, I was told that you will never graduate from high school, you'll never go to college, you'll live in a residential the rest of your life, and because of the statistics, you will kill yourself by the time you're 30. I had several years of hospitals, in and out, in and out, in and out, a lot of group homes, a lot of different therapies, CBT, DBT. I never did go finish college. I did graduate high school. I didn't live in a residential until I was in my 20s. And, well, I'm 37 and I'm still alive, so.
And making a difference. What were your past experiences with Vinfen before you became a staff member?
I moved into my own apartment through Section 8 housing, and I was given the Vinfen advocate. And at the time, I was at a very low point in my recovery, and the person was a peer advocate, and I was not comfortable with that. I could not see recovery at that point. And looking back now, I know a lot of it was jealousy, and I wanted everything she had. I wanted to be her, but I couldn't say, "Can you teach me?" All I could say is, "I'm not going near that person." So I didn't. And I fired her, and Vinfen respected me and gave me a different advocate. Another 5 or so years, I probably went through 3 or 4 other advocates. But then my last advocate, I would have bad days and I would have good days, but she would always come and meet with me, and she would just say, "You can do it because you're Megan Dowling and you're awesome." And I don't know why that was what I needed at that time. So after 5 years of advocates and different housing situations, I also was known for moving a lot, but also pulling together the resources to do so. I had met somebody and I had once again fallen madly in love, so because this was kind of my everyday speech, I'm in love, I'm gonna marry this person, and there wasn't a lot of faith behind it. However, after 6 months of being with this person, I decided that I wanted to give up my housing voucher. And it was a DIAL certificate, which stands for Disabled Independent Assisted Living, so they would not allow me to add anybody. This is where I think Vinfen really came into play, was that they didn't say no. They didn't say, "You can't do that, that's a really bad idea." Instead, they gave me a lot of information of what could happen, like mostly the financial aspect of it, but they supported me in it. When I found a house to move into that was so outside of my means of living, they still supported me. They helped me through that. When I decided, okay, well, now I don't have housing and I'm paying more than double what I was paying for rent before, I need a job. They supported me through that. And these were all things that for so long, I can only imagine what my record looks like, because it probably would say, cannot do this, cannot do that, will never be able to, but I was able to, and they were helping me to prove it to myself. And I think that's why my advocate saying to me, "You're Megan Dowling, you're awesome," it just started to instill that belief in me. When you've heard a lot of negative messages in your life, it's kind of hard to believe those positive ones. And that's where Vinfen kind of started to fade out of my life, because I was now working, I was now, maintaining a home, I was actually getting married shortly. I no longer needed services.
What are the most important lessons you've learned?
The most important lessons I've learned are self-advocacy, learning how to advocate for myself, that I am my own best advocate, and teaching the people I work with that they are always their own best advocates, that I am my own worst critic, and I will always be hard on myself, and to give myself a break. More importantly, I struggled for so many years with, who am I? Like, what am I meant to do? Who am I as a person? And I think that was a lot of my internal struggle for so many years. And I finally just like accepted, you know what, I'm me. I'm a daughter, I'm a wife, I'm a sister, I'm an aunt, I'm a friend, I'm a coworker, I'm an advocate, and most importantly, I'm a survivor.
What does a typical day look like for you?
I don't think there is a typical day. I always go into work with my schedule and I know what I have planned. That's generally not how my schedule works out. It's kind of like just being able to always meet people where they're at. And if I have a plan, well, that might not be their plan.
What is your favorite part of the job?
There's so many things I love about this job. I love the team I work for. I love my coworkers, and I enjoy every opportunity I have to work with the people we serve. There's not much that I don't like about my job.